Sports Entertainment is recorded live at twitch.tv/baldyandthebeast. Join us every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and watch the matches right along with us.
All right, we're Name that theme tune. Okay, hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Brunt.
I'm Willem.
And we are Baldy and the Beast. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Sports Entertained.
Yes.
Willem, what are we doing today?
Today we are watching Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch from Takeover Unstoppable.
Ooh,
buddy. I don't know anything about this match.
I can fix that.
Go ahead.
So, like you said, this happened in NXT Unstoppable on May 20th of 2015. So this was just at the Performance Center, or at not the Performance Center, but yeah, the Performance Center
at Full Sail.
In front of 400 people at Full Sail. So the story going behind this was that so going in, Sasha was the champ, and previously before this, Sasha had said to Becky, "Well, what do you need to do to make it to the top?" And at the time, she was looking for allies. So this led to Becky and Sasha creating an alliance.
Okay.
That Becky openly said was just about getting her to the top. Like, it was purely out of necessity.
Yeah.
So Becky helped Sasha in a number of matches and attacks on other wrestlers until there was a fatal four-way match between Becky, Sasha, Bayley, and Summer Rae. My cat's coming onto my lap. Maybe she'll come into shot. And Summer Rae. And so the alliance worked well early, and then it eventually crumbled because they both won the title. Like, you know, if you've watched wrestling before, you can see that coming.
Right.
So Sasha ended up winning the match, and Becky was pretty pissed off about this. She then went on to win a number one contenders match, and then they had a contract signing, and shenanigans ensued because that's what happens.
Yeah. I need to point out that you 100% like your cat's trying to make it into shot, and then you got fucking rah rah Rasputin stuck in my damn head, so I'm just bobbing along over here.
I'm not sorry. That's a great song.
It is a great song. I'm not even mad about it. I'm just like, people will watch the video and be like, what's he just bobbing for? Like, he just rocking back and forth to a beat that nobody can hear.
I'm trying to hit the same beat now because now you got that song stuck in my head. You son of a bitch. But where were we at? The card. Do you want to go down the card?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the dark match was weird to think. I was telling Will in this pre-stream that in 2015, almost 6 years ago, then known as the Mechanics, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson were in the dark match of something.
Yep.
Because I just view them as such an integral part of the tag team landscape now that, like, they deserve main card.
Yep.
But anyways, they defeated the Vaudevillains in a tag team match on the pre-show. It's a dark match. And the opener of the show was Finn Balor defeating Tyler Breeze to become number one contender for the NXT title.
This must have been very like soon into Finn Balor's NXT career.
You want on screen?
Oh,
what an opening match!
You got the kitty cat.
That's a good opening match.
That is a good opening match.
And then that was followed up by a tag match with Bayley and Charlotte defeating Dana Brooke and Emma. That didn't last long.
Yeah.
Followed up by Baron Corbin defeating Rhino. Young Baron Corbin.
Young Baron Corbin with long hair, and he's like the belly that looks like it's got a face on it because he didn't wear a shirt.
Yeah. And even after Ross made that meme, he still didn't wear a shirt.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was followed up by the NXT Tag Team titles with Blake and Murphy defeating Big Cass, back when they called him Colin Cassidy yet. And Enzo Amore with Carmella.
Yeah, because Carmella was like Enzo's hairstylist or something like that.
Yeah, something. And then the semi-main was the match we're going to watch for the NXT Women's title. You had Sasha Banks fighting Becky Lynch.
Yep.
And fine element, the NXT Championship in the main event. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn ends up ending in a no contest, which kind of sucks. But I'm sure Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn put on a great match.
Who was champion at the time? Was that KO?
Kevin Owens.
Kevin, okay. I was gonna say because there was one match where like KO literally just demolished Sami Zayn so much that they just gave him the title. Oh, you fixing your light?
Yeah. I looked at the Twitch and now I'm not happy with it.
Yeah, you're a little like overblown on the one side now. You need to center up your lighting. It's okay. You're moving. You'll have your own space. You can fix your shit.
I have my own space now.
It's also worth pointing out that on this card they showed the next class of NXT recruits, and in that class was Billie Kay and Peyton Royce.
Yep. That's a neat little... I noticed that when I was doing it, and I was like, wow. I didn't know they had... Did they have names coming in from the Indies, or...?
They were coming in from the Indies. I know for a fact that Billie Kay, or that Peyton Royce had a name on the Indies, but I don't remember what it is. Let me Google that while you go ahead and keep chatting some stuff.
Keep chatting some stuff?
Yeah. Did I put you on the spot?
Yeah, you put me on the spot. What the hell?
Cassie. Casey Cassidy. That's what her name was.
I can't say I'm familiar at all.
Neither am I, but, it's a thing.
Yeah, excuse me for not following the Australian independence.
The Australian independence from 7 years ago.
I don't even follow the Australian independence today.
Well, there you go.
The only thing I know about them is Robbie Eagles. I know he's involved somehow.
Isn't Robbie Eagles like a knockoff Enzo Amore?
Except for good?
What?
Isn't Robbie Eagles good? Am I thinking of the same guy?
I have no idea. While you're looking at that...
Robbie Eagles. How is he Enzo? I don't think he's nearly as
No. There was
terrible.
not terrible. I mean, like, the character was very similar. I don't know if it was Robbie Eagles, but there was somebody that was in Impact or somewhere that's entire character was just Enzo Amore. Like, just a guy from Jersey who was over the top.
I still think the dub missed out on a big opportunity when Enzo snuck into that SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yo, Vince should have come down there with a live mic and just been like, "You want to be on SummerSlam? Come get in the ring and have a match." And Enzo's ego would not have let him say no.
Yeah.
And then you bring out Brock.
Enzo gets squashed by Brock Lesnar.
In a real fight
on the middle of SummerSlam. Brock just Randy Orton's his head.
I don't know if they could get away with that. They didn't agree to that. But Brock would definitely throw a couple very stiff suplexes, I'm sure.
Couple very stiff stuff. Anyway.
So they barely got away with doing that thing to Randy.
Oh, yeah. Well, because they didn't tell anybody about it. Like, it was okay between the two of them, but they never said anything to anybody about it. So
and Randy was told he could do it safely.
Yeah, and he didn't do it safely.
No.
He just, caved a part of his skull in.
But let's get into this match, and then we can talk more about Randy Orton and his Twitter shenanigans lately, which make me actually, I have never been more over for Randy Orton than I have been recently, and it's all due to his Twitter.
Exactly.
You want to count in?
Yeah, so if you're looking for this match on the card, once again, this is from NXT TakeOver Unstoppable. It is the second from the last tag on the line of flags. If you're looking at it on the timeline, this match starts at 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 31 seconds. Again, I've not seen this match. I've not seen, most early NXT stuff. So I'm excited to see this match in and of itself because I've heard it's very good. I've heard a lot of this stuff is very good. So I'm interested in getting into it.
They had a really good roster.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of them went on to main, and they did some good stuff. A lot of them.
I was gonna say
some of them didn't. But yeah, a good chunk of this roster here went on to become actual big names.
Well, yeah, when you look at it just out of this pay-per-view, you got Kevin Owens. I'm not gonna count Sammy because his booking is meh.
Yeah.
Sasha and Becky, they're both good. Baron, which we can fight about that, but I think Baron's better than people give him credit for.
Yeah.
Bayley and Charlotte, both main eventers. Finn Balor, main eventer. There were so many good names on this, and there still are in NXT.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the match. Once again, this match starts on the timeline at 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 31 seconds. Going to go ahead and count it down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click.
Right into the bank statement.
Yep.
Right into the bank statement.
God damn.
She's bridging. It's over.
That's got to be it. Becky, your feet. Oh, that's it. Dude, that was super loud in my fucking ear. That was super loud in everybody's ear.
Sorry. I thought it was on silent.
Way to ruin the finish to the match. Sasha had Becky in the bank statement, arching that back. Becky absolutely torn to shit. And Becky winds up tapping out. The winner of this match, Sasha Banks.
Sasha, what a good match. What a cool way to get into her finish, although I would not have wanted to be the one that took it.
I gotta say, like, I feel like the way that you went into the finish, the way that they went into the finish, I feel like was kind of a botch. Like, it kind of looked like Becky slipped a little bit. The way that it kind of looked like they were trying to do like a Spanish fly or like a flying cross arm breaker. The way that, kind of similar to what, like when we watched Takeover this Sunday, where they did the same thing in the Kushida Gargano match.
Yeah.
It looked like they were trying to do a very similar spot, but one of them slipped, but they caught it real quick. And Sasha was like, fuck it, I'm going to the bank statement. We're going now.
We're going home.
Yep. Oh, man. So, what is your hot tag?
What is my hot... You know, for the person that invented this skit, you would think that...
You keep forgetting that it's a thing.
I think I fucking think about it sometimes right before I have to do it. Start of a bright future. I feel like... I know that, you know, the Women's Revolution happened in NXT before this. But this is really when people started to take a little notice. It's when I personally started to take a little bit more notice. And this roster is about to get really fucking good.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I think earlier in this year that this happened, like that's when Asuka debuted in NXT.
Yep.
So it wasn't too long after this that the women's roster in NXT got fucking huge.
Yep. So good.
Yep.
And just the roster in general.
Yep.
You had Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode came in, because this is the time where they were just signing up any big name and throwing them in NXT.
Oh yeah. Well, because they had also signed. He was gone at this point, but prior to this, they had signed Chris Hero as Cassius Ohno. They had James Storm in for a second, for a cup of coffee, and then he was gone. Yep. They had just about anybody you can think of from the indies in at one point to do something. They had Sami Callihan and Solomon Crow, a whole bunch of different people.
Yeah, so many guys had a short stint. And then even you talk, Shinsuke comes in.
Oh yeah.
Eventually, like, so
it's about a year after. It's about a year after this that Shinsuke comes in.
So, I mean, it's just
top notch.
I mean, NXT does lose money, so I hate to put it that way, but like. They do have a great roster, but there's a reason why.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway, my hot tag was just going to be Beta Women's Main Event.
Yeah.
Because that's about what it is.
It was a good match.
It's a very good match. What are you giving it out of 5?
Like 3.75 stars, I think is pretty fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna go probably about that because it's a really good match. There were a couple sloppy spots. It probably could have gone a smidge longer. Not much longer, though. Just given the match itself, but it was pretty good. I highly recommend.
Yep.
So.
So.
We got a couple minutes here to kill before we decide to go ahead and wrap the show. Anything else you want to talk about tonight?
Ooh. I talked about Randy Orton. I wish I would have saved that now. No. Do you have anything?
Not really. I do want to forewarn just in case, for the Thursday show. So, over last night, where I'm at, we received a fuck ton of snow, and it very easily could have taken out the power. And by Thursday, we're supposed to be receiving, even more snow and ice. So, if there's any issues or anything like that, if we're not showing up for whatever reason, you can see any updates in the Twitter or on Facebook, or if we had a community tab from enough subscribers, we put it on YouTube, but we don't. But if something happens in that regard, then you can just see that on Facebook.
Yeah, and it'll definitely be on the Facebook. As soon as I know anything, I'll have it up there.
Yeah, that's worst case scenario. I don't foresee it happening, but just in case, because we are getting, or at least I'm getting, a lot of storms right now.
We will be getting a big storm as well. But, yeah. I mean, 8 inches of the state of which I live is not as much as it is in the state in which you live.
Yeah, It was funny at work today because, so we didn't we closed the factory from 7 p.m. to 11 a.m. And so everybody else, it sucked for me because my shift is noon to 8. Whereas everybody else got like a half day because they still came in at 11 but left at their normal fucking time. But because of that, we had like just delays in production and stuff like that. And I had to tell one of our Canada reps, like, hey, your count is like, it's going to be off by a day because we had people out because of a snowstorm. Meanwhile, he's in Canada, and last week they got 40 inches of snow.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about? Inclement weather. 12 inches? What are you, pussy?
Yeah, it's all based off of...
It's all dependent. Yeah, it's dependent on where you're at. So we've got one match left in February to do. That's this Thursday, and that's going to be Charlotte Asuka from Mania 34, correct?
Yep.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and watch it on Thursday, but what are your thoughts? Just kind of a quick retrospective on February.
I think it's been really fun. I think that when I realized that we hadn't really done any women's matches yet, I kind of just wanted to kick the door wide open.
Right.
And I feel like that's what we did. And I feel like I'm gonna try to maybe have a more regular rotation.
Yeah.
But it was really good. There were a lot of good matches. We had one that was maybe not as good as we remembered. Yeah. But other than that, it was a really entertaining month.
Yeah. Do you want to kind of, give a sneaky peeky, a little hint into what our next theme month is going to be? Next month we're just back to regular stuff. We're going to be doing another trilogy. Same thing with April. But we have kind of something in store for May. We're going to try and do these theme months quarterly. Just as kind of, because they're fun. Just as kind of a way to shake things up a little bit. Like if we were doing theme months every month, then it would be, it would be the norm instead of being something different.
Yeah.
So, do you want to kind of give a little hint or even just reveal what we're going to be doing for our next theme month?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good hint that doesn't give it away. The only thing can I have one more?
Or think Mootober, but like around a different person from the States.
Technically two people from the States.
Technically two people from the States. Yeah, that's kind of the idea behind it. So yeah, that'll be interesting for the month of May. Just another little announcement if you didn't hear beforehand, but starting probably in the month of March, probably the first week, that's when we're going to be streaming it. Undetermined yet on the actual times. But we're going to be doing a Pokemon Heart Gold Pokedex race to see who can fill up the Pokedex the fastest and then beat the game. I'm probably going to win that one.
I am probably going to lose. I'm just going to go for having the most fun.
Yeah.
I like Pokemon. I have no dreams that I'm good at it. Dude, I'm not. I enjoy it.
I'm going to take a hot take here. I love Pokemon. I've loved Pokemon since I was a child, since I was young little baby Willem. I've loved everything about it. I've loved the casual gameplay. I've loved the catching. Like, the competitive stuff is very interesting to me because there's so much depth to what you can do there. But I'm going to take a hot take. As a franchise, Digimon is 100% better than Pokemon.
I don't know if it's as accessible.
It's not as accessible, but if you look at it, like, the creatures are way more interesting, and like the world is way fucking cooler.
I was a big fan of Digimon as a child.
Yeah,
Big fan of Digimon.
the world is way cooler, and like if you actually go and watch the anime for it, the story is way more fucking interesting.
The anime was great.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is I don't think Digimon ever had a landmark video game.
It did not. 100%.
If they did, we could be having a different discussion about maybe there are two major franchises.
Yeah.
But I remember having a Digimon video game and it was good, but it wasn't Pokemon good.
No. 100%. Like the video games for Digimon in general, there are some gems here and there, but in general they've not had a landmark game that puts them in the same spot as Pokemon.
Yep.
But as an idea overall, I think Digimon is just more entertaining for me. I think it's more interesting and more fun than Pokemon.
Yeah. I do like Digimon.
Yes.
So you're not going to get any arguments from me.
Like, I still even love... You remember, like... Oh, God. Like... apparently the stream did not like me talking about that because we just dropped, like, 3,000 frames.
The stream is a Pokemon fan.
And it's still dropping. I think it might be because I have my door closed instead of having it open. I don't know. Like, we're just tanking frames at the moment. I think it's time that we call it a stream. So, thank you everybody for coming out and checking us out tonight. We will see you this Thursday for the final match that we're going to be watching in February, which is going to be Charlotte versus Asuka from WrestleMania 34. If you haven't already, go ahead and check us out in the description down below at the Facebook, the YouTube, the Twitter, any of the places that we're available. We greatly appreciate it if you give us a like and subscribe. That helps us out a hell of a lot.
Yup.
If you don't feel like looking at our beautiful faces, go ahead and check us out over at the audio podcast, over on over on Anchor or Spotify, any of those places that we're available at. Once again, all that stuff is in the description down below. Thank you again for coming out and checking us out tonight. We will see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.
Bye.